What's up, everybody? I didn't trade today, but I am going to do my monthly review as it is the end of September. Just quickly going over some stats here. Finishing the week down 53 bucks, 68 if you include commissions. Just that one trade on I can't remember what trade it was. Let's see, ABT. Yes, ABT lost 64 bucks on it. Definitely. Minus 2R, never a good thing, but I mean, obviously that's just the way it goes sometimes. It's the end of the month, so going back to some of the goals I had planned, I know I didn't really expect much to happen this month because I was going through everything with my mentor and we were getting through the lessons, and I didn't really want to be trading while, all that was going on. Because I'm trying to, just starting to now get a feel for these kinds of trades and the style, the new mindset and everything that I'm trading. So I only took 4 trades the entire month, which is pretty crazy because I've been feeling, really, I don't know what the word is. I feel like I'm missing some part of me because I've been trading so little. And I mean, you can see here in April, I took 34 trades in April. In May, I took 64 trades. June I took 41, July I'm taking 30, and then for the past 2 months I've taken 20 trades. So I mean, I've been practicing as much as I can, but it's just getting that real experience is where things really start to make a difference. So I mean, I'm really hoping that things start to pick back up here. I saw a Twitter post today that said something like September is the lowest VIX movement or something in all of history for the stock market it was by like 2 points or something. So I mean, things are just crazy slow, and it's just, I guess it's something that I'm learning just now, starting to be a trader and everything. So some months like this April, or May, where you get 60 some odd trades, and then you'll have, I guess the summertime is just super slow. It's at 50 trades in 3 months now. That's just crazy. But so my September mistakes that I made from last month was taking gap trades into resistance. I traded against the pattern. I was getting in too early on trades. I needed to dump my bad trades earlier. Breakouts are supposed to never look back. Why wait? And my stop loss was too tight. So obviously my goals were to pay a little more attention to that. And now since I know everything that I know, I'm not doing any of those things anymore. I'm not taking a long right into resistance anymore, trying to catch those breakouts or anything, because there's just a much better way to trade, and I feel pretty confident that my mentors taught me well. So I mean, obviously future's looking pretty good here. I'm really excited for this next month to get back to work, really. So I wanted to use smaller size to start off trades. Didn't really do too much of that. I mean, I wrote these goals before I even... Or actually, I am going to check when the first session was that I had with my mentor. It was on... That's not right. Okay, the first session that I had was August 29th. So I mean, yeah, took an entire month, and we're all finished up and everything now. So I mean, I wrote this stuff before before I even got started with this whole new mindset and everything. So these goals really don't mean too much right now. I've obviously got to think of some new things to come up with, new goals and mistakes that I want to avoid. I mean, I can't really write anything down for mistakes either because, I only traded 4 times, and there's only so much you can get from just 4 trades. So what I want to do is just simply go over the trades that I took. Oh yeah, also the month. Finishing 80 bucks up on the month, with commissions only 54 bucks, only 3 for 4, 3 winning days, 75%. Still nothing really notable about that. So, all right. So the first trade that I took, where is it? What happened to my TradingView bookmark? That's not, I don't know why Google Chrome made it the Twitter symbol, but It's made a Google symbol before too, but whatever. Okay, so looking at Tiva here, obviously looks very good on the 5s for a nice VWAP bounce. Got tons of resistance, especially around that whole number. Definitely like that one a lot. This Tiva trade was easily the best trade that I took this whole month, even though, you know, I took 4 trades. But let's see. I wrote down that it was opening with support underneath at 18, and it did open over support. And on the 5s, you can see it broke through it all, so support turns into resistance. Had a nice bounce, and I took it at 97. My profit target was 81 cents, right at the low of day. See low of day there. And yesterday's low of day. I guess that must have been yesterday's low of day too. Took half at first profit target at 80 cents, and then took half again on the bounce off of 71 cents, and then took another half at 70 cents, and I was out all finally at 75 cents. So, also had that there was resistance at 1820, never hit, 1852, support at 1810, moving averages at 18, 1780 was going to be a significant point. I believe that's where I was talking about. So that was this right here. Yesterday's close was 1820-ish, I guess. But yesterday's low was the 1871. You could see it up there, and at the time, the stock also bounced off of that low. So it was definitely a good spot to take profits, and definitely set up for a really nice risk-reward ratio there. I don't remember what I tagged my risk as. 1801. So my risk was right over the whole number, only if it closes. So I mean, I'm risking 4 cents. So I risked 4 cents to make about 20. So I mean, a 5-to-1 is obviously always something that I want. So took 500 shares, fairly big, but I was definitely confident that it wasn't gonna go, you know, crazy up against me here, because it had a lot of resistance to break through. I mean, worst case scenario, it gets up to 5 cents, and then I'm down 8 cents. So, but that's the worst case. Also, the 200 moving average on the 15 was support at some point. I don't think I'll be able to see it on TradingView. Definitely a solid spot. This opening here was at 88, so that was definitely another point to pay attention to. I don't know how far back it's going to let me go with these 15s here. So this is the 18. What am I looking at? So it opened here. Okay, I see what's up. Okay, so the first candle here dropped down, bounced straight back up. Okay, so this was well below of where anything was really coming into play, so that was no big deal. Alright, so let's watch it and let's see what happens. Go faster than that. Alright, so I was in at 97 on the limit order, definitely good. I entered full size on it because I absolutely, well, even, I don't think I realized it at the time, but one thing that I've learned over the past couple of weeks here is that if you're not fully confident in the trade right from the beginning, you know, enter with half size, and, you know, enter in with, add the rest in after you see the confirmation. So if I wanted to play it like that, I could have added half at 97 and then probably could have taken or added the rest of it right now, because you see the sellers look really good compared to the buyers here. Definitely wanting to push the stock down. I mean, this stock was really immediately in my favor, and it had a very nice move down right to the low of day again. So I'm getting ready to take profit. Time and sales definitely looking great. Very nice move down, and I took it right at that pivot line. I don't think I realized that that pivot line was there, though. I think it just kind of got just a coincidence that I took it and it bounced off of it right there. But it was definitely a good spot to take it, especially after it just broke underneath the low a day. And now letting the rest ride, seeing what it wants to do. Definitely popping back up, kind of retesting. Wish I could go back to the ones and see what the one moving averages look like, because that might have been what's going on right now. It might have bounced off the 20 or something. Tons of buyers though, and there's another pop up there. Probably could have taken another half off of that, just because of the after it showed all those buyers there, and then it squeezed up a few cents, but came right back. I guess I got kind of lucky in that sense. And then you see all those huge buyers again. I think I'm waiting to see if it breaks. It does. I should have taken profit. Yeah, that was way too late. After I see a huge buyer like that, and it starts popping back up, I think I was being a little greedy there. I definitely could have played it a little safer and gotten out at the low 70s after it made that move. Cause I already locked in, I don't know, $50 on the trade, so I don't know why I'd want to let it do that even more. And then I think I'm just letting this one go until probably closes above the 9. But obviously if it wants to keep moving lower, no problem there. Alright, so I saw the other trade. Not a terrible trade. I probably could have made that $100 winner if I took profits at the right point and not trying to be so greedy with it. Clearly later in the day I made even more of a move down. So yeah, somewhere around here, it squeezed back up, and I probably should have taken profits around here again, but not a bad trade. Definitely, I'd give myself a 4 out of 5 on how I managed it. Something I need to write down already. So, goals, be less greedy, take profits when told by the market. Okay. Okay, so that was a Tiva trade. Now I want to go to this is ALNY. Okay, so kind of remember what was going on here. I kind of did a little quick thing with it a second ago before I started the video. Only took 30 shares on it. I remember this was it's a really fast mover. Remember later in the day too, it ended up going all the way to like 115, something crazy like that. So I wrote down it was gapping into an old resistance, and also the 61 on the fib. I took on the bull flag and it made a doji on the 5, and I exited when I noticed it was making a wedge pattern. Okay. Risk was 102.13. I was at 103.70. Risking $1.50 with 30 shares, but doesn't matter too much as long as your position size is alright. And this was the 20th. So that was this huge day here. Okay, so it opened up here, and wow, that 100 right there, that is the that is the 618 there. So that's definitely a big spot for resistance easily, because whole numbers are important, but 100's even more of a big deal. Yeah, 102. Numbers probably aren't exactly right. Yeah, I don't know why that's all the way up there. That needs to be there. Okay, now it's a little below it, but still very close to it. Definitely a big point of resistance. So if I go to the 5, going back to 20, right at the open, kind of made a little at it, but easily a bull flag. Probably looks even better on the 15s. Where am I? Okay, here we go. Not perfect on the 15s, but a bull flag nonetheless. Should stop skipping me around everywhere. Definitely pulled back a little bit, and I noticed I took it on the break. So I got in, pretty much immediately made the move, coming back to retest. I think I didn't have a specific profit target on this because there wasn't really anything to look for. Come on. I guess probably 108 could have been a spot. Maybe 106. Somewhere in between this area would have been a good spot, but I think what I did on this one is I used a fib extension to see what a good spot would be, because it's already sitting at 104. So I'm risking $1.50 to make about $3. Okay, so it's about a 2 to 1, maybe a little more. Not the greatest, but liked it, so I took it. I mean, it ended up being a winner. What I really would have liked to see it do is come back and test VWAP, but still made the bull flag in it. Seeing this this doji here is definitely a good sign. I got out at 104.90, so almost 105. Yeah, you can see it already. It's kind of making a wedge already. I didn't notice that. But I definitely noticed the bull flag. That's definitely good support. Would be a good spot to change my stop loss to. Which also, that reminds me, the thing with this trade was, instead of placing a stop at, like a good point, like the 9 or the 20 coming up on here, I just put it at just this number here. So I just kind of gave it an arbitrary number that didn't really mean too much. It was just the most recent high-low, and I just put it there. If I didn't put it there, I could have put a bigger position size on, maybe 50 shares, probably just 50 shares. I wouldn't want to go much higher than that. But it would have made my risk reward a little bit better, for sure, as well as the profits. So I can write that down. Stops based on technical levels. Definitely like how it's getting cradled by the 9 here. Yeah, I'm looking at it, so I know it's there. We're gonna go back. Yeah, I think I did that a little too late, but Definitely should have put that on there first. Figure out my profit target first. That's another thing that I was talking about a while ago, is figure out my risk reward before I enter the trade. Because usually I have a habit of just, I'll find my risk, and then I'll see the pattern, and then I almost pay no attention to the profit target. And then I just kind of let it go until, you know, I actually do figure out where a good profit target spot would be. So that's definitely something to work on. Broke 105. Pulling back a little bit. I don't know. It's made a really nice run. I probably should just take some off here. You know, I got in somewhere around here and it's just been pretty much going straight up. I'm sure the fives are just 3 candles, nice green candles moving. And I got about 3.5 minutes till the next 5 closes though. Yeah, and this is where I notice it's making a wedge here. Looks even better on that one. So now is definitely a good time to exit. Yeah, and then I exited and then it made that move down and it dropped to 20. My plan could have been to have a stop loss at the right at the 9, but I came back and looked at this later in the day or something. Yeah, because it came back and it touched the 20, and then it still kind of stuttered. So, you know, that wasn't a bad spot to get out. Even looking in ahead, this is definitely, after you see that wedge, whenever you see it making a new pattern forming, you know, especially a bearish one, you know, it's time to start looking to get an exit. And I believe it was around that that fib extension, the 50 mark. So definitely a good spot. Only thing that I would have changed about that one is just adjusting my stop loss. Other than that, wasn't terrible. Next was the Nvidia trade. Okay, and this one was kind of messy. I remember, I think I hopped in on this one because I thought that it was gonna make a move, but the move that it could have made wouldn't have been that great. So let's see, long 100, risk at 177.25. So I'm risking $40, 40 cents here, and the way that I'm placing my risk is I'm trying to look at the worst case scenario. So, you know, for this TIVA, the worst case technically could have been 1805, but I wanted to put it at 1801 just because that was right where the VWAP was. But then, you know, for these couple ones here, I started saying, okay, you know, maybe I should look at the worst case here. So if my worst case is $40, where my stop loss I would want to be at, chances are it's probably going to go, you know, even farther before it closes. So I mean, this could have been like another $60, $70, or same with this one here, but we'll do that one next. Alright. Okay, I wrote it may set up for a nice bounce on the 5-minute, the 200 below the VWAP at 30 cents. 5-minute 200, the 520 caught up, and the 1s caught up. Or there's too much stuff around it and there's really nowhere for it to move. So what day was this? This was the 26th. This day? Nope. Nope. This day? Nope. This day. Okay, so gapped here. There was a stock in play yesterday, so the next day it's still kind of in play. 50% of this, I'm guessing that's what this is. 173. I know I took it at 177. So I took it. Oh, it opened up here. What am I talking about? So it opened up here, 50%. It opened up pretty much right at that 50%. So I thought it might be a bounce down. That's what I meant. Clearly a bunch of resistance above. You know, this big candle here, this closing candle here. You got a hammer here, so everything's looking pretty bearish. Did I long this? I did long this. I longed it. Okay, so seeing the hammer here, and then this big move down, and then now it's kind of come back up. It's kind of like a retest, really. You know, opening up at that 50%. Definitely looking better for a short. There's nothing else really out there. So I'm looking at it. It got a high of, I have a buy order at 65. So that's just below this 9 that caught up. So okay, I'm kind of taking this trade at a not great spot. Here, and that was the high of day, so it never even got higher than that. It's above all of the moving averages on the daily. Let's see what happens. This is also the 1 minute, so only 15 minutes into the day, and that 5-minute candle just formed. I got filled at 65. Come back to test the VWAP. This is definitely a situation where I should have gone half size to start with, because there's so much stuff above it, so much resistance above. Oh, ooh. Yeah, this is what my mentor was talking about. Is whenever you see that doji like that, after this nice move up, and there's all this resistance above it, and you're just barely breaking out over that 50% candle mark, and then there's all those other opens and closes above it. That's bad. I should not have taken this trade. I mean, yeah, the moving averages on the 1s and the 5s and everything look okay, but I mean, this is not a full-size trade, especially with price action and this doji here. This is not an enter full size to start the trade. It is bouncing off pretty nice here. Come back up. What I should have done is wait. I should have waited to see what this next candle was gonna do, because obviously you can see it's, you know, just tearing right through it now. Except people see this doji. Yeah. Okay, and I tried to exit there on that limit order because it closed below it, and then I just got really stupid lucky off of this squeeze here, and I let this thing go $50 in my favor, and I didn't take anything. That's bad. Alright, I did take half. That's okay. I got really lucky on this. And then there it goes, turning against me again, and then I let it even run a little bit negative on me. Okay, so ugly trade. Definitely just not good all around. I should have exited here for a small loss, but instead I got that really nice squeeze here, which I don't know why that happened, but I mean it did. But there was too much around it for it to be a really good trade, and I mean, after seeing the price action, I definitely should have waited for that next candle to even close, really. You know, I just probably should have left half size on it. If anything, I should have taken it where I took it with half size, and then waited for that 5-minute candle to close, and then see what happens, and then possibly add into it. Because really, you know, my stop loss, I was at 65, and my risk was, I think I said it was at 20 or something. So I mean, it was just, why was my risk at 20? I need to see the 5 minutes again. There's a 5. I don't know why my risk was 20. I don't know what I was looking at there. Huh. I don't know why. I don't know why I had 20. 25? Still doesn't make a difference. There's 33. I mean, there's nothing here. Not even VWAPs there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking on this trade. That ain't good. I don't know. I think I was just a little excited because I mean I saw these moving averages coming up, and I like that VWAP bounce play, and I got a little too aggressive on that one. So goals: be less aggressive, more patient on setups that aren't 5 out of 5. Use half size and wait for bar closes to add. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna move on from that one. And then I took this ABT trade. Okay. Wow. What happened here? Okay, I bought it at 40. Oh, I must have turned on the camera a little too late, because I bought it at 40, definitely as it touched the VWAP here. I know it's making a triangle, and I wanted to catch it on the up move on a breakout here, because it came back to the VWAP and the moving averages caught up with it. The stock was also at its all-time high. Made a symmetrical triangle, and it was a VWAP bounce. So I wanted to take 400 shares here at the 40 with a risk of 33. And it's already at 35 here. I think that 33 was right where that 20 is at here. Yeah, definitely at this candle. I mean, there's nothing to look at up here, so I thought it might move a little higher. It's not my typical VWAP bounce play, because, you know, the VWAP bounce plays usually say this was, you know, gap up, and then it moves just straight up right from the open, and then it comes back to retest. Well, in this case, it made a triangle, and it as soon as it opened, it shut down really hard. Made the triangle, the 9 caught up with it, cradled it really nicely, and then the 20 caught up with it too. Figured that looked pretty good for a nice catch here and see what would have happened. So I took full size on it. I think I gave this a 4 on the confidence. Time of day 2. Case points 5. Oh yeah, because I changed my case point thing. There were 15 case points that you could put for any given trade of things that were in your favor, and then I just thought that was a little too ridiculous, so I just made it another 4 out of 5, or 1 through 5 kind of scale. Let's see what happens. Alright. Runs right through me, doesn't stop. And what I wanted to do on this trade was I wanted to wait for the I took this trade on the ones, but I wanted to wait. My exit signal was based on the 5, and I talked with my mentor about that, and he said, yeah, don't do that. If you're going to trade it on the ones, your exit's got to be on the ones. Entry and exits on the ones. Because it made the pattern on the ones. It didn't really make a nice clean pattern on the 5s, but I just wanted to wait for that 5 to close, and I mean, the stock turned right around against me here, and didn't like any of this. And then I clicked the wrong button to make matters even worse. Ended up getting out at 64 loser. So I mean, it made that move. I don't know. It wasn't a bad trade, but I definitely didn't handle it the right way, because the pattern was right. All-time high was right. All my moving averages, you know, daily moving averages, everything was in my favor. But one thing I didn't notice, is at the time I believe, was that it was making, you know, it kind of topped out right where this last candle was here, and it kind of got rejected, and then, you know, it shut down pretty hard. You know, it fails to move up again, and then the 9 catches up, and then it's like, alright, well, let's test this area again, and it does. Shuts down pretty hard. I don't want to say I should have gotten out on this candle, because I feel like that's probably too early for what I was trying to do anyway. I think this is just another situation. I don't know. I don't want to say I didn't want to do full size on this one, because it doesn't look bad. You know what? Okay, I should have done half size, because it came up to this resistance line here where it got to earlier, came up there again, and then as I looked at it, I should have said, okay, well, it got there and it didn't break it, so maybe it's not gonna have that much buying strength behind it. Volume looks okay though, so maybe I'll just take half size to start with, and I can add again once it gets back up here. That sounds like a much better plan, because if it I don't know, if it broke through this resistance and then came back to VWAP, would I still want to do full size on that one? Because then we got this one up here, and the 9's catching up and the 20 catching up, and then that would have meant that the triangle still there, and it's kind of moving out. I don't know. I like the half size idea better on this one, just because of what it did here. I mean, you can't talk about what you would have done if it did this, because it didn't do that if that I'm sitting here talking about. It did this, and that's what I need to focus on. So if it's gonna do, you know, if it's gonna make like a double top kind of situation here, then I don't even think I looked at the 5-minute time frame that whole time. Okay, I did. So I mean, that, you know, it's not a clean triangle. Came in there, did a double top. Not a clean triangle on the 5s for sure, but if anything, it looks like a bear flag. And which was actually something that I noticed today. There was HMNY, if this still works. Made a really nice bear flag here. You can see it kind of did that. So I mean, it looks better for a short, but you know, I got the 50 coming up. And you know, it is a triangle, and triangles can go either way. They can either go up or they can go down. And in this case, it obviously went up, but I didn't want to take it for long because there's just all this stuff around it still. And you got the 5s here. I was looking at the 5s. I wasn't looking at the 1s. Came up, kind of retesting everything. So it kind of fought against it. I mean, I thought it looked better for a short. I mean, you know, if it stayed below the VWAP here, it would have looked good for a short. But yeah, that's something I just should have taken half size on. Yeah, minimize my risk on it. Shouldn't have been a $64 loser, you know. I think best case scenario, that would have been like a $32 loser or something, just taking half size. But not terrible. Really not that much to go over. There's just pretty excited to go back to trading again next week, starting the month off. Got a whole month now, you know. Hopefully things pick up again. It'd be nice to start taking, you know, 3-4 trades every single day again, instead of taking one every other day, which just gets, you know, so slow and tedious. And then all I really do for, you know, trading practice is just practicing on Thinkorswim for, you know, an hour a day. But just the way it goes. So I guess goals for October: be less greedy, take profits when told to. Stops need to be based on technical levels. Figure out my risk reward before I enter the trade and my profit target. Be less aggressive and more patient on setups that aren't 5 out of 5. Use half size and wait for bar closes to add, or further, you know, continuation to add. I wanted to write one more thing. What was it? Yeah, pay attention to candle types. Because, you know, I didn't notice that doji on that Nvidia trade. You know, that's always something that you want to be paying attention to. If the price is telling you, you know, short or don't go long, full size, balls to the walls just yet, you know, that's just something I need to notice. Something I gotta pay attention to and recognize next time I'm entering a trade. But that's all I got for now. Definitely be back on Monday. Looking forward to the month. Starting off fresh, hitting it hard. And thanks for watching, and I'll make a video then.